Welcome to the Southern New Hampshire University Week in Review, where we recap the past week's events in Penmen athletics. Men's soccer went winless in a pair of games against St. Anselm College and Adelphi University. The Penmen opened the week with a 0-0 draw on the road against the Hawks on Tuesday before falling at home to the Panthers on a goal in the 86th minute on Saturday. Men's soccer looks to bounce back on Wednesday when it hosts St. Michael's College on Nesson at 7 o'clock. Field hockey extended its winning streak to 3 straight games with 2 wins last week against St. Michael's and Merrimack College. Laura Vanderdorn buried a goal just 9 seconds into overtime on Tuesday to lift Southern New Hampshire to a 1-0 victory over the Purple Knights. Saturday saw the Penmen overcome 2 one-goal deficits to force overtime, and Maddie Holt drilled home the game winner with just over 2 minutes left in the extra session to give SNHU the 3-2 win. Field hockey aims to extend its streak on Wednesday when it heads to Franklin Pierce University for a 4 o'clock showdown with the Ravens. Volleyball split 2 games last week against St. Michael's and Merrimack. The Penmen opened with a 3-1 road setback against the Purple Knights on Tuesday before returning home to outlast the Warriors in 5 on Saturday. Marissa Coronas racked up 20 kills and set a new career high with 16 digs against Merrimack. Amanda Costalis added a dozen kills on Saturday, and Kathleen Skirman picked up 21 digs in the win. Volleyball returns to the court on Tuesday when it welcomes Bentley University to the Fieldhouse at 7 p.m. Men's tennis swept both its matches by scores of 9-0 against St. Anselm College and Post University. Ricardo Moreros, Xavier Aubron, and Bas Van Biezen each dropped just 1 game against the Hawks on Wednesday, before Tiago Fernandez and Miguel Moreros won their matches by scores of 6-4, 6-love, and 6-3, 6-love respectively against the Eagles on Sunday. Men's tennis is idle until the spring when it returns on March 21st to host Bentley University. On the women's side, the Penmen went 3-0 last week against St. Michael's, St. Anselm, and Post. Southern New Hampshire topped the Purple Knights 9-0 on Thursday and the Hawks 5-3 on Friday, before wrapping up the week with a 6-3 triumph against the Eagles on Sunday. Women's tennis is off until Friday when it hosts the winner of Assumption College and Adelphi in the Northeast 10 Championship semifinals at the SNHU tennis courts. Women's soccer wrapped up the week with a 4-0 win over the University of New Haven on Saturday. Courtney Benson tallied a pair of goals while Tricia Lewis and Renee Hamill each added first-half scores to lead Southern New Hampshire. Women's soccer gets back on the pitch Wednesday when it heads to St. Michael's for a 3 o'clock kickoff. That's it for this week's Southern New Hampshire University Week in Review. Check back next week for a full recap of this week's events in Penmen athletics.